Welcome to the Health and Happiness Show. As many of you know, I am Janet Hawkins, a board-certified doctor and naturopath. And I'm welcoming everyone here because we have a change of season. So we're going into the fall season. So first of all, I want to remind everyone we all need to be taking our D3. The D3 we get from the sun. And yesterday it rained most of the day. Okay, over the last weekend there was some sun, but as you noticed, it's getting dark like at 6:30, quarter till 7. Probably by Thanksgiving, I can remember getting prepared for the holiday meal, and it's dark by 5:30. So I'm just saying that vitamin D is very beneficial, not only for your immune system, it is very beneficial for your heart and your bones as well. So it's always a good idea whenever you get a blood panel done on your blood work done, ask the doctor if he'll check your D3 level as well, because I have that done every year, and I'm sure many of you do on the same thing. So ask the doctor to include that as well. Now, personally, I prefer, if you are blood type A, to go a little bit higher than what's recommended, because type A blood, your immune system isn't as strong as type O. Type O has very good immune system. So what do I take a day? I personally take 4,000 to 5,000 a day, and I'm still in the little upper high range, but I prefer that because of my immune system not being as strong. So that's just the first thing that we need to do since we're going into the season change, getting colder. And already now, my daughter is a teacher, and there's a lot of sore throats going around, maybe some strep, things of that sort. So it's important too to keep that immune system strong. And as long as it's not strep throat, of course, if you want to, we all need our primary care doctor. You need to go check to make sure it's not strep throat or something that's serious. But if it's something minor like a virus or flu or that type thing, then I like the olive leaf as well. The olive leaf is fantastic because it works with viral bacteria, candida, and parasites as well. And you just add it to like a shot glass of water, and I put in about 60 to 80 drops, and I usually do it maybe a couple times a week, 2 or 3 times a week, depending, just to keep everything in check, because I see a lot of clients and I'm out and about as well, so I just want to make sure everything stays up front and stays healthy as well. And also, just want to tell you now too that we're having a season change. Just remember, we live in a very toxic world. Not only our food, then we have our air, we have our water, we have our soil. It just goes in our skin products as well. So you may want to consider doing a cleanse as well. So the cleanse, we have different ones. We have the Tahi cleanse, which this is my favorite, but I tend to change around and flip around. And this one is a 1 month supply, and you have 1 packet here, and you take that. And I usually take it in before I go to bed, because you'll get results in 10 to 12 hours. And that means you'll have bowel movement, and plenty of water is so important as well. Just remember, I tell you this probably every month that I do a recording, take your weight, divide it in half. That's how many ounces of water you're to drink a day. Good quality water as well, because we don't want the water coming out of your city water, the tap. That has a lot of chemicals. That's water that was in the toilet. It goes through the processing plant, and they add a lot of chemicals as well. So I prefer maybe some reverse osmosis, things of that sort. I personally have the Kangen water machine. I invested in that approximately 6, 7, 8 years ago, and I always serve all of my clients when they come for a consult with the 9.5 water as well. And with the Tahi cleanse, it has a supplement for your liver, for your kidneys. It has black walnut as well for parasites. And I really like that. And you just take 1 packet. On the box it says take 2 a day, but I find that that's too strong. I just would rather do a gentle cleanse. So that is one choice as well to consider. And then we also have environmental detox, which has burdock in it, which is going to clean your blood. And it also has a little bit of echinacea, milk thistle, which will clean your liver as well. Then we have cellular detox, which has a little bit of golden seal and a little bit of cascara, And whenever, how do we know which one to take is what you're going to say. Well, when I do, like I was up in Strongsville on Sunday, and I'm going to be at the Super Center Women's Gym on Friday, and I will be doing free iridology when I do a show, like a holistic show, and I will muscle test you to see which one is best for you. When I say muscle test, it's called kinesiology. Everything has energy, and you will tell me which one is best for you. I'm not going to say take the Tai Chi cleanse. We will muscle test and you will tell me. Now, if you're solo, how do I do that? Well, you hold that product, like I got a text from my grandson. Here's the list of the supplements I'm taking. I said, okay, I really don't think you need vitamin K. And then he was taking, I suggested a B, because a lot of Bs are very calming for the nervous system as well. But he's taking Nutricom, so he was double dipping there. So I said, muscle test and see which one is best for you. All you have to do is hold it up to your chest. If you lean forward, you need it. If you lean back, you don't. Just stand in front of your kitchen window or at your, your breezeway door, whatever, and just look out at the sky and just kind of think about what God wants best for you. And if, like I said, if you lean forward, you need it. You lean back, you don't. So everything has energy, and you're able to decide what is best for you. So I'm just reminding you, being a season change, if you're too busy right now with the holidays approaching, that's fine. But I will say, I will remind you in January, get in there after doing the holidays, because many of us will be eating pastries, maybe having some alcohol drinks a few here and there, and not maybe as organized on our schedule with exercising as well. So just remember, the rule of thumb is we always do a cleanse internally to keep the body clean every season change. So it's fall now, spring, summer, winter. There you go. So after this is fall, then winter, then spring and summer. So the health is entirely up to you. You're the CEO of your body. And just remember, it's so important to get you sufficient sleep. There's 5 things to keep your body in balance. Number 1 is nutrition, which we'll talk about that more as we go on through the meeting. And then also, just remember the Dirty Dozen list in the Yucca app. Always do the Yucca app and zap that barcode, and it'll tell you excellent, good, bad, or poor. And then also, we need to get de-stress. That is where Stress J comes in, and that is excellent because it has chamomile and passion flower, and that's going to help take the edge off. And I found with the holidays, that's very important to take care of that. And sleep is very important. Actually, the newsletter that I'm working on now for November is on sleep, and it's excellent. It's going to go in and tell you, I love the little printout that I have on the back of this one, and it's going to give you different suggestions for sleep. We have some valerian root, we have some kava kava, we have maybe some melatonin, and magnesium. That is my favorite one, magnesium. 60 to 80% of the population is very, very deficient in magnesium. So I personally take 300 to 400 milligrams a night before I go to bed. First thing you have to remember, if you take too much, it can give you diarrhea. That's a side effect of it. So just remember that is your goal. So you might want to be slow and start out, check the milligrams on a quality product with no fillers and binders, and then start out with like maybe 1 or 2 and see how it goes and take it from there, okay? So those are just some guidelines for us going into the holiday season and being responsible for your own health. Now, one thing that we're going to do today, we can't forget our chlorophyll. We all need our chlorophyll. The chlorophyll is excellent to balance our pH. Most of us are too acidic internally. When we're too acidic internally, that is when disease begins. So it's going to help balance your pH. All you do is add it to your water. It's also going to clean you as well. And if you tend to be anemic, it's going to help with that as well. Okay? And so I brought it along here. And we have our guest, Cindy Petitti. Thank
Hi.
you, Cindy, for being here.
Hi.
And would you like some chlorophyll?
Sure.
Okay, so we'll take a little bit, because these aren't very big glasses.
No, they are not.
Okay, so there you go. That was a little strong. Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Cheers to good health.
Cheers to good health.
Okay. There we go. There we go. So refreshing.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Okay, so with the Thanksgiving right around the corner, here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to be making applesauce today. So I don't know if many of you make the applesauce or if you made homemade applesauce before, but we're going to attempt to do that today. So as you can see, right here, I've already peeled. I didn't peel the apples, I just cored them. And then I put them on and simmered them for probably a little over an hour until everything was nice and soft. Okay, so we'll get that. And then, now rather than putting it in a pan, you can also put it in a crock pot. How do you do it, Cindy?
I do it in a stock pot.
A what?
A stock pot,
Right,
not
right,
a
not a crock pot.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
same with me.
That's how
yeah,
I do it
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, good. So, what we're going to do now, this is the little grinder. This is really the old-fashioned one. I've had this for years. This is the type you use?
Yep.
And I use it for my tomato juice, everything. So we're going to put that right on here, and then we're going to, let's
Here.
see if we go. There we go. Of course, I had to taste it this morning. Okay, we got a little bit more. And it's so nice to serve this at the Thanksgiving dinner or even at the Christmas dinner. Mm-hmm. I know my grandkids love it. And I like to do it, if possible, if it's warm.
Right. It's always great warm.
Right, that's what I prefer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we do that. Okay. Okay, so now we're just going to stir this around and around, and you can see everything coming out. And this is great because I don't peel the apples, do you?
No, I don't.
No, I just core them.
Yes.
Do you do that?
I just core them.
That's what I do.
And then after I cook them down, I'll do the same thing. I also have one that is, when I'm canning my applesauce, I have one that fits on the side of the
that's
table.
a good idea.
And because I can do a lot at one time.
Yeah, because I've never canned it before.
Yeah,
That's a
and
good
then-
idea.
Right, and then I jar it and put it in my canner.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Now, if you do it hot, will they seal on their own, or do you have to put it in the canner?
If you do it really hot, but I usually still put it in the canner because by the time I go through this whole process, it's cooled down enough.
Right, exactly.
So I'll still put it in the canner. Once my water comes to a boil, about 15 minutes, because it's already warm, and they seal up really nicely.
Right. Now, what do you use to sweeten it, or does it depend on the
Well,
apples?
it'll depend on the apples, but a lot of times I'll mix apples to
Right,
make it.
that's what I did.
And then I use an organic sugar.
Right.
Sometimes I'll use a little maple syrup. That's really good too.
Yeah.
But usually I'll just use some organic sugar. And I always added some cinnamon to mine
Right.
because I like cinnamon.
Looks so good. Okay. I brought us a little container so we can taste it.
Oh, okay.
But I just thought for the viewers, this is just a reminder. It's so nice to add something that is just freshly made.
Freshly made, homemade,
and
right.
you know where it's come from, and you know what you've been doing to it. And I like to do the organic, of course. These are organic Pink Ladies, and I think it was Honey Crisp.
Oh,
So, and I know I tasted it this morning after it cooked, and it was really sweet. So I don't think we'll need a lot of
yeah,
sugar.
probably not.
You know, so. And the reason you want to do organic is because I know most of the apple trees, the orchards, they spray the trees, but is that going to affect the apple? What is your opinion on that?
Well, it definitely does, because the sprays is going to go through that skin.
Right.
So I usually try to do organic apples, or I always, a lot of times I'll try to find someone that, it's not at an orchard, it'll just be somebody that has apple trees, they're not taking care of them, they don't
Like
look
me.
the best.
Yeah,
But I can cut out the bad spots. I always say if a worm doesn't want an apple, I probably don't want it either.
I like that. That's very good.
And so I'll just get some of those apples from folks, or some of my apple trees as well. I have some, but I don't have a lot.
Yeah, because I have apple tree one.
Yeah.
But I think the deer come and eat it more than
No,
anything.
that
But that's okay.
happens so often.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, it happens so
Yeah.
often. But then I'll just cook them and
So there we see.
add a little bit. Yeah.
There we go.
Color's great. Consistency
That is really just
wonderful.
about right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The consistency is great. Yeah.
So that's good. Okay. Now here's the sugar that I personally use.
Right.
So you can see this, and yes, I get it at Aldi's, and it's organic cane sugar.
Right.
And there's, I like the fact that, and it's non-GMO, because we have to understand how
Exactly. Right.
the GMOs are not good for us, so we have to be very careful. Okay, so we've got that part done. So here's a spoon for you,
Okay. Thanks.
and I got a spoon, and we got some little cups here. So let's taste it. So see if we need sugar. See what you
Okay.
think.
All right. I say no, but some people that like things really sweet might want a little sugar.
Just a little bit.
I was going to say,
not,
I
not
think
much. No.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. So I'm going to put in just a little bit. I know the grandkids will like it a little
Exactly.
sweeter.
The grandkids probably would like it a little sweeter, for
Yeah.
sure.
So let's just kind of
Okay.
stir that up and see what we think now.
Okay.
But I've never canned it, but that's a really good idea.
Yeah, it's really nice. And then, of course, it's not warm when you take it out, but
Right,
you know,
right.
you can have applesauce instantly. That's
I think that's
nice
about
and
right.
sweet.
Yeah,
Yep, nice
that's
and
good
sweet.
yeah.
Sure, for sure.
So there we go. So remember, you can get the sugar at Aldi's. Use it for everything, which I get my coconut oil there as well.
So do I.
I'm just trying to give you ideas with economics on telling you don't have to go to the the
Expensive.
grocery store, the expensive places, and they're organic as well, which is so important in my world, or our
Exactly.
world, I should
Right,
say.
definitely.
So we got that, and we got that, and what is so nice is it does a nice presentation. You can put it in a nice bowl as well,
Right,
and you can put it right in here,
right,
and there you go.
right. And serve it right there, and everyone gets to.
And the staff from
Enjoy.
WCTV is going to get some fresh applesauce today. So let's put
Sure
this
that
in.
they are not going to mind that at all.
I already told the one. So you can see how nice that is.
Beautiful consistency. Great color.
Perfect. So all I did was we'll go through it one more time, is I cut up the apples, cut them in like fours. I'd rather do that than just,
They will cook a little faster.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't just put a little bit of cinnamon on it as well, just for the topping. So there we go. We've got something down, a great idea for you.
Right,
For the
wonderful for the
holidays.
holidays to
Yeah.
have some,
And the grandkids are going to love it.
right?
I know my little Dean and Bryce and Dean are going to enjoy it as well. Okay, we got
Sure.
this. We'll clean this up, then we can move on. So that's your little hint there. And then too, with making your cookies and everything, I use all coconut oil for all my baking. Like I make zucchini bread, I make some holiday cookies. I use the coconut oil for everything. So I'm just giving you a good idea. So
Right, coconut oil is so healthy.
it is, it is, exactly. And then I use Himalaya salt as well.
Correct. Me
Now,
too.
what flour do you use?
I use an organic flour from Frankfurt Farms. It's a local mill out of the edge of Pennsylvania.
Okay,
And
nice.
so I order it bulk from them in 25-pound bags.
Okay, now do you have it for sale at your facility?
Well, we don't carry it all the time, but we order it for many people.
Oh, nice.
We order rice and beans. flour of many different kinds. You know, wheat flour, rice flour, buckwheat flour, cornmeal.
Nice.
They have a very nice line of organic grains.
Very good. That's good to know.
That you can order from them. So yeah, we order every other week and get it in on a regular basis so that people can have that. They do organic dried fruits, many things. So it's called Frankfurt Farms. They work a lot with co-ops.
Oh, good. It's good to know. But you don't really carry anything.
I carry a few of their items, but I don't carry it in the 25-pound bags.
Right.
We don't have it bulk like that.
Yes,
right.
I understand. Okay. But too, we're just giving you some ideas also. Right. And if you're going to do sour cream, I prefer you do that organic as well.
Exactly.
I mean, anything dairy, organic.
Anything meat and dairy, those are crucial. And anything that is GMO'd, you know, like, you know, wheat and corn and soy and all of those things.
Soy. Oh, yeah, I mean,
it's really hard to find.
I cringe because, and please don't get me wrong, I don't like eating out because I don't eat fried foods, number one, and I just don't know what oils are in anything.
Right.
And you have to be very, very careful because actually I had a client come in and he said, every time I eat out, I get sick. I said, your body is talking to you. So there's probably a lot of additives, preservatives, and don't get me wrong, there are many times we're all in a hurry. But that's why I like Soul Pizza in North Canton. It's all organic. I can order my pizza, I can order my sub, I can order my salad, I can swing by and pick it up.
Right.
And at least I know what I am eating. You might be paying a little bit more, but you're investing in your health.
Exactly.
And that's so important. And you know, because we all want to age gracefully and be aware of who we are and what we're doing and be responsible. So, and that's up to us. We've got to be our own CEO.
Right.
But we all need our doctor too, as well. And how do I say this nicely? My brother is a doctor, and he just had 3 blood clots and had to have them removed, and some other issues. So I sent him some information, and I think maybe he's going to listen. So hopefully we can work together and improve his health as well. Right. And he's 4 years younger than I am. So
it's just, oftentimes doctors just, they're not on that holistic side like we are.
Right, exactly.
When something happens, though, they'll try it.
Well, we need to blend together.
We do.
We all need our doctor, absolutely.
Right,
for
definitely.
Like our blood work, things like that. Because I know in February, Dr. Sunny's going to be on. He is a medical doctor, but he has a holistic clinic called Balance of Life in Medina. And he does vitamin C infusions for people that have cancer, because the vitamin C will kill the cancer cells, but not the good cells. So, I mean, he also works in the cardiac department with the heart issues, because I have a couple clients that have some heart issues, and I'll send them to him as well, you know, because he does cardiac infusions as well. Wow. So, you know, and that's so great to have a medical doctor that I can send people to when it's needed, because we can plant the seed, but sometimes it's very hard to follow. But I always say like this, if you can be good 80% of the time and be off 20%, it's okay. Right. Especially during the holiday season right now. For
sure.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
So anyway, Cindy, you have a greenhouse now?
Exactly. Yeah, we've had a greenhouse for 23 years.
Okay.
Prior to that, we were just landscapers, but we bought the greenhouse 23 years ago, and then in 2007 we went all organic.
Okay. Nice.
And that was just from many people in our industry finding out that they had cancer, and my father-in-law was diagnosed in September of 2007 with cancer, and they asked him what chemical company he had worked for.
Right.
He had never been in the greenhouse industry. My late husband and I purchased that, but my husband and I had bought the landscaping business from him back in '95, and so they asking him, you know, what chemical company you worked for. He had always been a landscaper.
And put 2 and 2 together.
Exactly.
Yep.
And actually, when my father-in-law said to the doctor, no, I've been a landscaper all my life, he said, well, you're the second worst for using chemicals.
Wow.
And so it only took 3 months, and he passed away. And but at that point, I said, we're going to stop using chemicals in our greenhouse.
Good.
And so we did. So we were sort of one of the first greenhouses that grew organically, even though it wasn't as popular then. There were a few organic people,
right.
but most people thought the organic people were weird then.
Yeah.
And you know, some people still think we're weird.
Well, yeah, because I know the one guy. They'll say, "Oh, there's the witch doctor."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
That's okay.
Right.
All right.
And
are you taking your vitamin D? He said, "Yeah, I am doing that for you."
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
So you know, we started doing that. Changed things in the greenhouse first, and then started carrying lines that had no chemicals in them, things that you can fertilize your lawn with, take care of insects and diseases with, all organically. And so at this time of the year, we all need to be thinking about prepping our lawns and gardens for next season when
right.
we're, you know, getting ready to start our gardens. And we still want beautiful lawns. Everybody still wants nice green grass. So there are great ways to do that. I always tell everyone that fall is the best time to do your fertilization. If you can only afford to fertilize your yard once a year, it should be that last fertilization. Usually sometime in November is really going to be ideal.
Really?
Yeah, so
That's
that
good.
late in the season, right.
Yeah.
And there's some great ones. I just brought some actually flyer information. Okay. This one's Milorganite. Milorganite is one of the oldest fertilizers out there, and it's used for many different things, but actually started out as a lawn fertilizer. It's so wonderful that that many golf courses, and we know that golf courses usually aren't organic, will use this as their mid-season fertilization plan.
That's good.
Because in the summertime, when other fertilizers will burn, because it's so hot and dry, Milorganite won't burn because it's organic. So this is one of the ones that's used on the golf courses in the middle of the summer to keep everything nice and green,
right.
But it won't burn it. So it's used a lot. But it's also great actually for many other things. It's good for your vegetable gardens, it's good for your roses. It is odorsome, it's an organic fertilizer, but it goes away quite quickly. It doesn't seem to hold its odor, but the deer hate it.
Well, that's always a good thing.
So,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's one of those side benefits of using several organic fertilizers, but especially Milorganite. The deer don't like it at all. So you can use it on your yard, that last fertilization, and a lot of times it will really help keep the deer out of your yard.
So if you do one application pre-season.
If you can. It's ideal to do 3.
Okay.
But if you know, so many people say, I can't afford to fertilize my yard that many times. Also, some people are like, I don't want to fertilize my yard, I'm going to have to cut it too many times. And I always tell people, you fertilize your lawn and your shrubs just the same reason that you eat a healthy diet. Yourself, you're not eating as an adult to keep growing. You're fertilizing yourself with a nutritious diet to stay healthy and to keep your body in the condition that it needs to be in. And that's exactly why you fertilize your grass and you fertilize your shrubbery, usually best twice a year. But you will find out that they do much better for you. They perform better, they are more insect resistant, they're more disease resistant if you're feeding them a good healthy diet. Just like us, we are more resistant to every little bug that comes around if we're feeding ourselves a healthy diet. And our plants and our lawns are exactly the same way. But if you could only afford to do it once a year, the fall is the time to do it. Late fall is the best.
Now, do you have any golf courses that use just organic products on their? No.
Yeah, there are no golf courses that I am aware of in our area that use only organic. Like I said, most all of them will use this as that mid-season.
Well, that's
but
good.
They're not all organic.
Right.
It is difficult to have a perfectly weed-free yard organically. It really is. It takes a lot of effort because weed controls that are organic, they don't have a long residual. So you have to do it more frequently. If you're doing it more frequently, you have a lot more labor in it. And so then it costs so much more.
Right.
Then you need to raise your greens fees and all of those things.
Yes.
It's sort of like, eating organic. We know we're going to pay more. When we're buying a quality supplement, we know we're going to pay up for it because we know that it's good. And so you have to find that clientele that would want to come to a golf course and not have to worry about, if you want to walk across it in their bare feet. That's my issue, especially in your home lawn. You want to walk across your yard in your bare feet.
Well,
you
of
want the
course.
children to be able to play in the yard. You want your pets
Well, the pets are so important because
Exactly.
I mean, I have seen people getting their lawn sprayed, and I don't know if that's organic. I question that. But, I mean, I feel for the pets because
Right.
their paws are going to absorb those
They
toxins.
really do. Right.
And I don't know about my little Minnie is my baby,
Well, exactly.
and she's
Right.
she's a member of the family. That's the way it is.
Right. I know a holistic veterinarian.
Yes, Dr. Fisher.
Exactly.
Yeah, Pam is excellent.
Pam is a
Yeah.
wonderful
Yeah,
person,
she's
and
wonderful.
her and I have talked in depth about lawn chemicals.
Oh, absolutely.
And she is like one of the biggest causes of pet cancer are lawn chemicals.
Right.
So it's something that if you love your pet, and a lot of people will say, as long as you keep the pets off the grass until the liquid is dry or till the granulars has absorbed into the earth. Well, that could take weeks, and still, it's still at the surface.
Right.
That's how it does its duty that you're putting it on there for. And those little pads on their little feet, if you're doing a granular, it gets up in there, and then it will break down in their little paws.
Right, exactly.
And also not just in their paws. Your dogs and your cats love, if you let them out, they love to chew on the grass.
Oh, yeah.
And that's in the blade of the grass. So, feeding your lawn organically is ideal.
Has
There
many,
are
yeah.
great, there are great weed controls that's going to kill the broadleaf weeds and not kill your grass. You're just going to have to use them a little bit more frequently. But when you think about the money that you're going to save, because that's what I always hear, well, that's costing me so much money. I first off say, remember, some of those weeds in your lawn are good.
Like your dandelion.
Your dandelion
Yeah,
and your
yeah.
plantain,
Yeah.
your clover.
Right.
Those are really very beneficial weeds.
Yes.
Don't be so worried about having a lawn that looks like a golf course. I have real issues with that. I know you want a green lawn, so I say fertilize it, but fertilize the weeds at the same time.
That's very good.
But Mill Organite has a wonderful product. Another one that's newer out on the market is the Hybrix, and the one you would use in the fall is their Finisher.
Okay.
Another really good fertilizer, like I said though, newer to the market in the organic line, but a lot of people that are using it sees huge results. Again, they tailor it around, pet owners, keeping your lawn safe for your pets.
Right.
Something that's very, very important for that.
Absolutely, yeah, because I take my little Minnie to Dr. Fisher, and I have her on her standard process little supplement every night. And for 9 years old, she's doing very, very well.
Right.
I mean, even people have commented on, for 9, she has a shiny coat, and of course, I did not get her any vaccines. That was my choice,
And-
But
and
she
that's
doesn't run wild. I don't use any chemicals on my lawn.
Right.
And so all's been good.
Exactly. Another thing that can happen to your yard, and we notice it in the fall, are grubs. Grubs are the larva form of your Japanese beetles.
Okay.
So once the Japanese beetles are done, sometime in the 1st of August, they go, they lay their eggs, they die. Those eggs start forming and turning into grubs. A great organic way to control those are with milky spore. Milky spore is a live active spore that grows in the soil. It can be applied any time that the ground isn't frozen. I like fall because we always have a lot of rain in the fall, and it needs about 6 to 8 weeks to really activate and grow enough that it is covering a major part of your yard, so that as the grubs are going down or as they're coming back up in the spring, everything is good and covered. And as they eat through the dirt to come back up or to go down, they eat that spore because it's all over the soil. And that spore blows that grub up from the inside out. And it is a great way to control the grubs. The other really nice thing about milky spore, and people will say, oh, it costs so much. It is going to cost more than a regular grub treatment, but that grub treatment you do at least once a year. Some people do it twice a year with their lawn care program to keep the grubs away. This you're going to do once every 10 years.
So how do you spread this? Can you go out and just kind of sprinkle it around?
So
Or do you have to have a
they have
spreader?
it different ways.
Okay.
The St. Gabriel's company who makes it had it first originally when I started using it about 40 years ago. It was a powder form only. And you literally take a spoon, you put it down, and that teaspoon will cover about 3 to 4 square feet.
Oh, nice.
But people didn't like having to do that. Go walk their yard, put a teaspoon down, walk 3 feet, put another teaspoon down.
Right.
So they have pelletized it, but that, because of being in a pellet, you're not getting as much down at one time. So you can put it in a broadcast spreader, it spreads very quickly, but you need to do 4 applications, 6 months apart to get that full coverage. I'm all about quicker results, so I am going to, and I walk really fast, so I don't have a problem pacing off a yard, putting a teaspoon down at my toe, walking, take one more big step, another teaspoon down.
I understand, yes.
And then I always say, do it right before it's supposed to rain, and then it does the rest of the work for you. If you were doing it this summer, you would have probably had to water it in, because the water is what activates the spore, and it starts growing. If you do it in the fall, you know that you have had at least 8 weeks before the grubs start coming back up in June of next year and turning into Japanese beetles.
Yeah, fall would be best.
Fall is a great time. That snow that's on the earth all winter long, maybe, but all the rain we get throughout the winter, that spore is just going to be growing like crazy. So milky spore is a wonderful way to control the Japanese beetles, and it has that very, very long residual for you. So those are going to be some ways to take care of your lawns this fall. The other thing you want to do in the fall is fertilize all your trees, shrubs, and that includes your berry bushes and your fruit trees. All of them should be fertilized twice a year. Again, if you can only fertilize once a year, fall is the best time, because the tree, the plant are going dormant in the winter. Even if it's an evergreen,
it's true.
they go dormant. So none of the nutrients that you are putting down are going to new growth. It's all going to root system. And I always tell everyone, you want your plant to have a strong root system, just like us. We need to be firmly rooted in what we believe, and no one can sway us. And we want the same thing to happen with our plants. We want that plant to be firmly rooted. So we're feeding the soil so it can feed the root system of our plant. And then it is going to make for a strong plant that will be able to produce well for us with beauty ornamentally, or with food for a harvest. So if you're doing your fruit trees, you want your apple trees to do really well, feed them in the fall. You want to do it right at the drip line of the plant, and you will see that is going down into that root system where it is the most fibrous, right there at that drip line, pulling those nutrients in right to the plant, and then it will feed it up through the root system into the tree throughout the winter, and in the springtime you will notice a huge difference in your plants.
So what do you suggest for rhubarb? Is there something special?
For rhubarb, it's funny you say that, chicken manure. Chicken manure is a wonderful fertilization. It's high in calcium. great high in nitrogen, and rhubarb loves it. So once you cut your rhubarb down in the fall, some good decomposed chicken manure. Don't clean out your chicken coop and put that right on. It's going to be a little strong.
So leave it sit
But
for like
leave
a
it
week?
sit for,
month?
a month.
A month, okay.
And then put it over top of your rhubarb for the winter, and you will see your rhbarb go crazy in the spring.
I will do that because I have a rhubarb plant and I've not done that. Now that we have chickens, I will
Now
do
you have
that.
the you have the chicken manure.
How about the strawberries?
Strawberries, I really like Espoma's Berry Tone. It is a great organic. Probably I brought a little sample bag of Holly Tone. Holly Tone is made by the Espoma company, and Espoma is actually Holly Tone was their very first fertilizer. But they have a tone for everything, and they just tweak those minor nutrients. Because some of them need a little bit more magnesium and some needs a little bit more copper, those kind of things.
Right.
So they have those tones tweaked for those specific plants. The holly tone are for anything that likes it acidic. So holly tone is what you put on your blueberries. But for your berries, I really like, for most of your berries, I like the berry tone. It's not quite acidic enough for your blueberries, so that's why I usually use holly tone on my blueberries,
nice.
and a soil acidifier. The blueberries need a pH at about 4, so that's very, very acidic. Most plants really like a neutral pH at about 7.
Right, yeah, that's like humans.
Exactly, just like humans.
Because when I do the saliva and urine testing, when I do the biological terrain assessment, it'll go in and tell us how the pH is.
Right.
And that's why I really endorse the chlorophyll so much, because most of us are too acidic.
Right.
And it comes from standard American diet, soda pop, coffee, and stress.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and we all love our coffee, but we sort of go overboard on it. And I think organic coffee is probably better for us.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's pretty much the only coffee that I drink. But it will definitely, all of those things, and stress is definitely one of those things that really will raise.
Interesting.
And sugar.
Well, I'll have to give you a report. I'm going to get the manure, age it for like a month, and cut it back, and then put it on there for the winter.
Yeah, and then you'll see, you can just.
It'll just blossom.
Even I was going to say, even whatever you have in your chicken coop, if you have sawdust in your chicken coop or straw, whatever you had as your bedding, just mixed right with it, it's all going to decompose right on it. It's a great way to use your chicken coop residue if you don't have a compost pile too, But it's wonderful for your compost pile because it really does. It's so high in nitrogen, it will really help things decompose in your compost pile too. So I always tell everyone, when you clean out your chicken coop, put it on your compost pile if you don't have some rhubarb to put it on.
Right, exactly.
It's going to do very well for you.
Nice.
Very
nice.
But yeah, so I really like all of your trees and shrubs to be fertilized in the fall. If you have questions like, what should I do? You can Google it, but don't always believe what you read on the internet because
absolutely,
it's not always true. Just so everyone is aware of that. But a nice local independent garden center will always take the time with you to help you choose the fertilizers that's going to be best for you without you having 25 bags of different fertilizers. So many people are like, well, I have hollies, but I also have azaleas, and I also have roses, and I also have, so on. And then they don't want to have, 15 different bags of fertilizer. We can analyze the shrubbery that you do have and see which one is going to be best for your plants so that you can fertilize them all with 1 or 2 bags of fertilizer and not have so many.
Well, that's what's so unique about you, Cindy. You can go to your greenhouse, and if we have questions, they'll flag you down.
They really do.
You're a busy girl.
That's right. People will flag me down.
And say, hey, I have these questions.
Right, I have these questions.
Rather than going, and don't get me wrong, we all need our big box store.
Right, exactly.
But you're all on your own, and you're floundering and you are looking for what is best for what your needs are.
Right.
And the one-on-one directions from the professional
Right.
is very, very helpful.
Exactly. And we try to help people in many different ways. There's folks that can't make it out to the store. So we really welcome you to email me your questions, and also with Facebook. You can always, and I have so many people today. Technology is amazing. They take photos of their plants,
Yes.
and they'll zoom in on something that they're not sure what it is, and then they send me the photo, and I can look at it and tell them, what it is and how they need to treat it, and they can come to the store and get it, or we can ship it to them.
Yes.
There are people that need that.
I understand. I think we're both on the same page.
Right.
Because being in the holistic business and being a doctor of naturopath, I get calls from the Amish. I get a lady from Cleveland. I do auto ship, send her out to BP every month.
Right.
And a client from Florida calls, hey, my friend told me, my sister told me about you. Here's the issue. So I understand what you say.
We just try to make sure that we want everyone to be organic, so we want to make it not too difficult.
Correct. Simple.
Right, as simple as we can.
Yes.
To have that opportunity to treat their plants like they would want to be treated.
Absolutely.
Just like we want to be treated one way.
One other question I have. Now, like I have a lilac bush. Now, is this the time to trim that back?
So, when you're trimming shrubbery, you want to make sure that you don't trim too late into the fall on things that bloom early in the spring.
Okay.
Because if you trim your lilac now, you are going to hinder bloom for next year.
What if there's a dead branch on it?
That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Just want to
It's
check.
just like when you're taking down size.
Right, got it.
You don't want to take down too much size right now,
Okay.
because at the ends of those stems are where your bud formation has already started for next year.
Good.
The most ideal time to prune any shrub, doesn't matter if it's a rhododendron that blooms early in the season while your lilacs are blooming, or if it is something that blooms in the fall, like your Rosa Sharon, they're blooming in August. Any shrub is going to perform better if you trim it to take size off, not a dead branch,
Right,
within
dead size.
8 weeks from the time it stops blooming.
Okay, so 8 weeks after it blooms.
Right, within 6 to 8 weeks after, 8 weeks is the farthest.
Okay, good.
From the time it stops blooming. So with your lilacs, when they stop blooming at the end of May or the first week of June, about 8 weeks out is as far as you want to go while you're trimming it and taking off the dead flower bloom, like deadheading it, and also taking back size.
Right, yeah, because I always trim the rhododendrons in the front. So wait 8 weeks at least after they bloom.
You don't have to wait 8 weeks. You could do it the day their flowers drop off.
Okay,
but
once
no
they're through blooming.
further than 8 weeks.
I always
and then
do it
that's when you
afterwards.
can bring back your size as well on them, so that they don't get out of hand, because we all know rhododendrons can get out of
love
hand.
to grow.
It
Yeah,
seems like
yeah,
you
yeah.
skip a year and you're like, how in the world did it grow so much in 1 year? So keeping up on your shrubs. The hard thing is so many people are like, I only want to prune once a year. And that's really not the most ideal for all of your shrubs. Just like people, we're all different. And my hair grows differently in speed as yours. So I don't need to cut my hair as often as you do, and it's going to be the same with your trees and shrubs. They grow at different rates, so they don't need pruned at the same time. So if you can do it within that time frame of when they're finished, things that doesn't bloom, like your evergreens, it really doesn't matter. You can trim them anytime. Or like a burning bush that doesn't flower. It does flower, but you never recognize it because it's such a tiny little flower. But you just don't want to trim it when its leaves are bold and red and beautiful, because you'll be taking them off too soon. But besides that, you can really trim it anytime. It's not going to affect it at all.
Okay.
Yeah. I always say, remember though also, if you are so hot, you're so miserable out there trimming, or if you're so cold, you're miserable out there trimming, the plant probably doesn't love it either.
Okay.
So make it easier on yourself and do it on a nice day.
Well, those are good tips to remember, especially with fall right now.
Right.
On what we need to do to produce good, bushes and, plants, strawberries, rhubarb, everything for the
all of those
springtime.
things that for the spring that
Absolutely.
we want to, keep growing and producing a harvest for us. And, we really hope that every year those berry bushes and those fruit trees are going to be producing more of a harvest for us every year.
Right.
So keeping them healthy, keeping them trimmed is what's going to help them last for many years and give us a harvest for many years.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody should be prepared now for taking care of their lawn
Right.
organically, and
Exactly.
Some good suggestions on your plants and your berry bushes and your rhubarb.
Right.
So
Right.
all is good.
All right. Well, we also do a lot of different things in the winter. We do a winter indoor farmers market. We do it in the greenhouse. It is starting here in November. It starts on the 1st of November, and it runs on the 1st and 3rd Saturday of each month, all the way through the 1st Saturday of April. And we do fun things every time. I cook organically at every market and let people sample organic foods. So some people have that concept that organic food is bland, it doesn't taste good, all of those things. So we prove people wrong at the farmers markets, and we cook and have something for everybody to sample at every market. And they're, like I said, on the 1st and 3rd Saturday, and they run from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And kids get to visit the animals while they're there, the chickens, the goats. We have a new baby donkey that we have there, and they can visit him and everything like that. And we also have several wonderful vendors that come to the market, several of them with organic items. We have an organic sourdough baker. We have organic cookies, rolls, just several different vendors that do everything organically. So it's a wonderful little market, and it's a lot of fun at the same time.
It's from 10 to 1?
10 to 1 on the
First and
3rd Saturday of each month. We always post it on our Facebook page, and it's always on our website, petittisorganic.com.
Okay.
So you can check out our website. We put all of our classes and all of those things on the website, as well as always keeping things up to date on Facebook and Instagram.
Well, and this is good ideas for the holidays. I mean, for example, you don't know what to get your grandparents or your parents. What do they need? They have everything that they pretty much need.
Right.
But you can get some fertilizer,
Right.
things of that sort.
Right, that they need, or a gift certificate so that they can come in the spring and get the things they need, or come to the farmers market and get things from local vendors and have those kind of things as gifts as well.
Right.
Yeah, they're always
So
wonderful.
It's planting the seed. It might be your first step in the organic field, but do not make it that difficult.
Right.
Just make sure it says organic and non-GMO on all of your packages. Right. And the Yucca app is so important, especially with your shopping.
Right,
Do you have the
exactly.
Yucca app?
I do.
Yeah, so do I.
Yes.
And at first it's going to take you forever when you go to the store.
Right, because you want to check everything out
Right,
and see
exactly.
what it is.
Yeah.
But and also if you're buying local from a local farmer, I always say if you go up to a farmer and you ask them, do you grow organically? If you're not certified, look them in the eye, and you know what? It takes a lot for somebody to be able to look you straight in the eye and lie to you. Yes, I'm growing organically. Right. And if you're not real trustworthy, ask them some difficult questions. What are you spraying with? And see how they can answer you, because it's not about the certification. With every small farmer, they can't all afford.
Right, exactly.
To do
it
it.
costs a fee to
be
be certified
right,
as well.
It is. But building that relationship and knowing that farmer, it's very, very important.
Very important, absolutely.
Yep.
Yes, good.
Exactly.
Very good. Well, thank you for taking the time to be on.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
I love it because we'll have you back in the spring
Okay.
again, be preparing to. Now, I want one other question before we close. Is it too late to plant lettuce seed now?
In the garden, if you don't have something to cover, yes.
Okay.
But if you have a way to cover, make a little low tunnel or anything like that, or doing it in a container that you can cover with a little dome, you can definitely still do lettuce.
Right, because I have a little container, but the squirrels keep getting into it. So if I cover it up, night and daytime, and just take it off when the night's out?
Right.
Would be okay.
Yep, you'll be fine.
I'm going to try that because there's nothing nicer than going out and
Nothing.
picking my lettuce for a salad,
Right.
or putting it on a sandwich.
Exactly.
You know, and because I've always endorsed that from spring on, and I do at least 3 plantings at least every year from
Oh, right,
March on.
for sure. But yeah, you can do it. I mean, I grow lettuce year round, but I have a high tunnel.
Right,
And
right,
we have,
right.
that minimal heat.
So that's good. Well, thank you so
Thank you.
much, and you have a
Thanks for
blessed
having me.
holiday,
You
and
as
thank
well.
you for taking the time.
Thank you.
So we'll make your applesauce, and have a good holiday. All right.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.